So Mario, we just talked about on the episode, kind of breaking down the Buffalo Bills draft, back-to-back defensive ends, back-to-back offensive tackles, and I'm gonna pull out. You talked about going back to the Kia days. I'm gonna go back to a Kia day phrase of mine. Ready? I support any move that moves Deion Dawkins to guard.
Hashtag Sports is proud to partner with Mr. Rogers Homes. Sean Rogers is a proud Western New Yorker and is now your Arizona relocation specialist. You can see his reviews as a top 1% agent on Zillow, Homes, and Trulia.com. Go ahead and download his free Arizona relocation guide found in the description of this video. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, and, as Sean would say, God bless America and go Bills.
You didn't. I thought we were on for this. We went to therapy for this, Paul. Multiple times.
This strawberry cream cheese donut is banging from Tim Hortons.
You need your calories.
It's real, yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
I will say, it's nice to see you back in men's clothes.
Don't quite know how to respond to that.
Okay. There's a couple things we could do. I could put it on because Paul's an avid golfer. Avid. He shoots in the 70s, ladies and gentlemen. That's how much I hate him when I go golfing with him. Point is this. They did not take a CB2 at 30.
Mhm.
And they also did not draft a running back.
Sure didn't.
2 names you've heard. We're only going to focus on one. You've heard Dane Jackson many times.
Yep.
Look at the grin. Watch it.
Yep.
Okay, see it?
There it is.
And you've also heard Matt Breida.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, talking about, they did not go with Harris. They didn't go with Travis Etienne. But they couldn't because they both went. All right. Could Bean have gone up to get him? Well, he could have. He obviously could have. You give up next year's first. You could have went up and got there.
Yeah.
They didn't want him. Okay.
The value to get up where those guys went was pretty
Steep.
not worth it in my opinion.
Yeah, but the point being is this. I want to focus on the running back first. What does this mean going forward for the Buffalo Bills as far as their running back? Because we thought not only could they possibly draft a running back, like some people thought, but what was on the table was trading Singletary for another pick. So not only drafting, but getting another pick. And, like, let's just put it this way. If they would have traded for Harris, or they would have drafted Harris and traded for another 4th-round pick and got another lineman, and then went into the season with Harris, Moss, and Breida, I don't think anybody would complain about that.
No.
But as far as the system itself, you're going into 2022, as of right now, with Singletary, Moss, and Breida.
Oh, that's not the only one, Mario.
Am I?
The community tab will remind you, if you ever asked any questions, you are bound to get at least a couple Christian Wade comments. And we had 2 people, because I posted on our community tab, recording at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anything you want us to talk about?
Yes.
Literally 2 people commented only Christian Wade's name.
I am well aware.
Dan and Steven.
I am well aware that a long time ago, Paul came up with the phrase #Nation in order to identify our following and our fans.
Right.
And the Bills fans and whatnot. However, #International loves Christian Wade.
Yep.
Loves,
Sure do.
as well as he should.
Yeah.
But he's 29, approaching 30.
All he does is score touchdowns.
All he does is, I mean, he never scored 4 in one game.
He did not score 4 in one game, but that's because he never got 4 carries in one game. So let's just start with the obvious here.
That notwithstanding, Christian Wade's always in the back pocket of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it's like I think Tywan Jones is still on the roster. Like There's Antonio Williams.
I'm talking about backs. You know what I mean? Like backs that you can trust with 15 touches a game.
People are going to say Antonio Williams can be trusted with 15 touches a game because of one game at the end of the season.
You could say it. I could say Jessica Biel's coming to my house later. Doesn't mean it's making it
Oh,
happen.
you just love Jessica Biel, don't
Why
you?
don't I? Like, she's amazing.
I think, aren't she and Timberlake getting a divorce? I think they're getting a divorce.
Yeah, I'll hold my breath.
Whenever you mention Jessica Biel, I could just imagine young Mario sitting in a dorm room at Buff State watching Summer Catch just to watch Jessica Biel cut the front yard with pushing a lawnmower in short shorts.
No, it's progressed to now I pronounce you Chuck and Larry, which she's trying to. She's all wet.
Oh, God.
Can we move on, please?
It's getting challenging to make left turns.
I remember bringing a bike in here, but there's a goddamn kickstand.
Family friendly content. All right, let's go on.
They should know by now. We've had Mitchell on. You know, I mean, you talk about workhorse backs, Taiwan Jones. Williams could be. I mean, we don't know. We really don't know.
I will tell you, again, college tape and pro tape are different because the Bills really look for skill set and then look to coach, right? They're not going to bring in a player that fits exactly what they need. They're going to bring in somebody that we just talked about in the draft episode, different set of skills, but is going to be adaptable to their system, to learn their system, to give you the traits that they're looking for. And Antonio Williams looked really good, but the back that you saw in that one game is not the back that was necessarily on film at UNC. So, again, you kind of have to just have some cautious optimism there, right? You could be optimistic about Antonio Williams, and maybe he'll earn enough snaps to be dangerous.
It's not the shiny toy that everybody wanted.
Oh, I agree.
I understand that. Yeah. But this is not an offense that's going to be predicated or focused around the backs like a Tennessee,
right,
or a Baltimore,
right, or even in New England. Like
they really, I know they predicate everything on the backs, and then you could even extend that to Carolina, where they're not really a run first team, but that offense is built around McCaffrey.
Absolutely,
you understand that.
Yep.
You don't need guys that are your number one option. Do you have to run the ball better? Well, yeah, you do. Buffalo sometimes had trouble closing out games because their ineffectiveness to run the ball.
Right.
People want to put that on the line. You think a back solves that? I think the line solves that. I think due to the additions that the Buffalo Bills have made, the cohesiveness of the offensive line coming up, and I know a lot of people disagree with me, I think they're going to be a better running team, more efficient. I'm not going to say better because that indicates they're going to have more rushing yards. I think they're going to be a more efficient running team in 2021.
I really put a lot of this running back struggles on Allen's development, and I know that's probably like an unpopular opinion, but the fact is that the quarterback runs the show after 15 seconds, once it hits 15 seconds on the play clock, right? Because you lose the connection with your offensive coordinator. It's Allen's show at that point, and the fact of the matter is your quarterback needs to be able to understand and address and guess every single play what is happening in front of him. He's guessing. Like every play is a guess. So you're guessing what you think is going to happen. And I think Allen learned a lot last year, but I think he's got a lot of improvement to make in pre-snap recognition, getting into the right play, and especially when it comes to the running game, because we don't know how many run plays were actually called. Like, we have no idea how many run plays were physically called. But we don't know how many run plays went poorly that Allen checked into. We don't know that either, right?
No.
But you have to look at the struggle and the Bills' refusal to address the offensive line position by bringing back all their starters, their refusal to change the running back room by retaining all their players and then adding an older running back in Matt Breida. They clearly don't think that anything's wrong there. So that leads me to believe that they feel like this is an Allen development thing, because if it wasn't Allen's development, you'd change something. You'd change something. Or if it really bothered you, you'd change something. And they have yet to do so. So, I mean, it just begs the question of, where's the struggle with the running game coming from? And is it really a struggle? I mean, you brought up McCaffrey, and you're right. Like, Carolina wraps everything around McCaffrey. But I think the Bills also learned that you can get a running back drafting at 32. Kansas City did. That's,
Well,
that's, you can address the running back position late in the first round. Most teams will try to do that if they have the opportunity to do that. I don't think Buffalo's scared of drafting a running back at 32. And mind you, I say at 32 because you're going to win the damn Super Bowl. So I don't think Buffalo's afraid of addressing the running back position at the end of the draft. That's where a lot of teams try to do it anyway. So why
to get a fifth-year option on running back, I still don't think that is. We're not there yet. I don't think it's cycled through back around.
I agree. No, I agree. I think this year was a little early for that.
Yeah. I mean, when you talk about ETN and Harris, they seem to be a little bit different animals, though, in that respect. So maybe you want a fifth-year option on those guys.
Yeah.
You never know. The fifth-year option for running backs is always low. Two things I'll say to your point. Number one, your description of it has to be an Allen development thing rather than because they didn't add anybody else. If you're able to shovel half of your driveway and it's efficient, why do you need to buy a snowblower to get the other half? I mean, you could. It would be done quicker, but you don't necessarily need that. That doesn't mean anything's wrong with the shovel. That's my point. Is that I talk about Allen's development and as far as he's able to change. I don't care if he's able to get to check to the perfect play. I'd rather be of the mindset I want Allen to have is getting out of a bad one. Like, he doesn't have to check into the perfect play. Just get out of all the bad ones. Okay. And now we're going to go down an even deeper rabbit hole is the fact that, okay, if you're talking about it's Allen's development, who's that fall on? Who's the fall on? Dorsey and Jaboy. But so is it that he's not checking out, he's not recognizing, or is it the plays that come in? You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's say Allen's not checking out of the plays that are coming in, and the running game is suffering. Well, that rests on Dable. We don't know this, but let's say Dable gives him the run pass option. Allen checks wrong. He checks into a run play in an overloaded front that they shifted. Okay. Well, he made a mistake. Yeah, that's Allen. That's not Dable.
Right.
So, definitively, we're not going to know that. But you're saying that because they didn't make any huge changes offensively, it's resting squarely on the shoulders of Josh Allen.
I think so. That's what I think.
Which I don't think is bad, given what might happen next year with Dable leaving.
Right.
I'd rather have all the responsibility on Allen's shoulders. But they did draft 2 tackles back to back.
Sure did.
So it's not like they did nothing.
Right. Yeah, what I mean is from a starter retention standpoint.
What if those 2 guys end up starting?
God. Things have gone horribly wrong.
No, my point is this. We talked about it all the time. With Vernon Butler restructuring, Mario Addison restructuring, we didn't say that would guarantee that they'd still be here.
That's true, yeah.
So, and they draft 2 defensive ends. So, okay, insurance policy before you go to the draft. TJ Yeldon, anyone?
Well, and not only that, Mark, but if you just look at the way that this all flows, right? Dawkins and Williams both have played guard, right? So you're making the argument that you could see 2 new starting tackles. I'm not saying you will, but
oh my God,
let's not. I'm just saying let's not do that.
I didn't even think about that.
But I think it also begs the question: perhaps retaining the players that you had was more valuable because, again, you don't know what the offseason is going to look like. At any moment, your offseason program, gone, just like that. Somebody gets sick, your whole offseason program shuts down. Maybe it's best to keep the players that you have because you're not changing anything, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to change anything. And that way, if your facility has to get shut down and you have to go virtual for everything, maybe that's the best maybe that's the best option for you. Right?
And let's be honest. The tackles coming out this year were piss poor.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, the fact that we're talking about a 3rd-round tackle, a 5th-round tackle in positive light just shows you how much we like Brandon Bean. Right?
So that's what Bean's thought process was. This is all these guys are putrid. I just want the best athletes.
That's it. Give me the guys that can put their team on their back.
You broken leg.
Here comes Darren Sharper, the hardest hitting safety in the league. Cross the plane. Touchdown! It's Cole Beasley. Broke his leg.
I can't with you.